Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with various wins here for the Game Set Match tournament here in Golf Clash the Game. Before we start, make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. You can improve your game even more for tour play and tournament play by going to patreon.com/golfclashtommy and check out one of our guide packages, linked directly in the description down below. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also a ball and club type I suggest you to play with. Have in mind that everything in this playthrough are just suggestions, and you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there's always a plan behind it to get you the best possible outcome on the holes that we are going to play, especially now for the Green Hook Point, which is a pretty fun course to play in my opinion. So, enough talking about that, and let's go to hole number 1. I talk a lot about the advantage in having a sniper level 7 or better due to the ball guideline, and this is also one of the cases where that's going to be a fact, because here I play with a sniper level 6 using 2.5 bar backspin and 1 bar of left spin, and I'm aiming in complete max distance with a Marlin. I do believe first and foremost that using a Marlin will most definitely give you a nice way of not spending a better ball, and also a way of still being able to attack the pin by being able to start in max distance. Have in mind that if you do have any form of headwind, you're gonna have to play with a driver, otherwise you will go in between clubs. Maximum distance plus 10 is the adjustment that I'm using. Unfortunately, I do hit a great left, but the great left here will cause me... The great left will make me miss left, but a perfect ball would have been really close. In the end though, hole number 1 here, having a sniper level 7 or better, the ball guideline itself will then be able to aim directly at pin. Here we're gonna have to guess with the sniper level 6, so please, if you do have sniper 7 or 10, consider yourself lucky, because that's a good way of starting off with hole number 1. On hole number 2, we are going for green with, I would say, any type of wind here, because wind is going to be so low in terms of the strength that we should be able to use a different ball depending on wind angle to get the ball over the water and trying to get the ball out from the rough. Obviously, there's always a risk with this shot that the ball might get stuck into the rough, but that's a risk that I do believe we shall be taking, because if we get stuck into the rough, it will still be a very easy shot from there, trying to get a chance for an eagle, but at least to save the birdie. But in the best case scenario here, we will get the ball to bounce into the rough and somewhat get out from the rough after the first bounce. Like you see here, we bounce and we roll out, and now we have a short wedge from the fringe to get an eagle. Maximum distance plus 15. And I would recommend a power 3 ball in crosswind and tailwind, but in headwind I would recommend a power 5 ball such as a berserker ball that you can win for free in the golden shot. And I know I don't like to suggest power 5 balls here, especially from front tee, but I do feel that if there is any time we shall be using a power 5 ball in rookie, this is a situation where in headwind we cannot really reach over if we don't have a big boy driver with a power 3 ball. Then that berserker ball that we still again win for free is a perfect substitute for the lesser power that we do have on the lower level clubs. So hole number 2 is an absolute must eagle regardless of what division and what tier you're playing. For hole number 3, we are going to play with the driver that gives us the most power possible here from front tee, and also a power 3 ball. The power 3 ball is not so necessary for the drive itself, but for the second shot, that ball is going to be absolutely crucial. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment after we have added the 2 bars of left spin and 4.5 bar of top spin. We do want to aim at a start at least in the center of the fairway, but we do want to make sure that we are not rolling into the rough on the right. I'm using half a ball of curl to the left, but I'm also using a little bit of overpower to push the ball even further up here, because getting close to the rough here is going to be extremely important once again for the second shot. So I would say like everyone could possibly make a good drive here in terms of getting it to the fairway, but we need to think one step ahead and thinking about that we do need to have a decent power on our drive to be able to reach the spot that we want to for the second shot. So now we're going to play bouncing over the rough with our sniper. And as the sniper in, in the lower levels do not have that much power, but it still has a good accuracy, that club is still going to be the club to play with. But again, as not having that much power on this club, then the power or like the distance on the drive is going to be, again, crucial. Maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment for the second shot. We do hit perfect, and we are bouncing over the rough on towards the green. This is not an easy shot to drop, and we're going to be close most of the times, and this is obviously, it hurts when you go in and out of the hole, but we come in with a little bit too much speed, which is never good. But at least we gave it a chance here on hole number 3. I would call this one an opportunity, but this is not really a super opportunity for an albatross. Hole number 4 offers different opportunities here, and what I mean with that is depending on what driver you have, you can either actually go in the center of the fairway by using a power 3, power 4 or power 5 ball, having to go with max overpower and try to get as far as possible. That is the preferred way, but again, you need to have the club and the ball for it, because if you don't have that, then you going into the center will most likely cause you to struggle getting the eagle, but also maybe struggling getting the birdie. So in this scenario, going with lower level clubs and a free to play ball, then I'm going on the left hand side using 2 to 3 bars of topspin depending on what type of wind direction I'm having. And I'm also using a katana every time I do have a crosswind or I do have a tailwind. If I do have a headwind, I would go with a titan or with a kingmaker to get a little bit more power on my drive. Great right, obviously, is going to be dangerous as the fairway slopes a little bit left to right, but if you hit perfect or great left, that's going to be better. Maximum distance plus 10 for the drive. Second shot. Now we are going to play with a club that gives us at least the 5 bars of backspin. Why? It's because when we are playing on this pad here now, we are either going to have to play with a wood club, which is going to have being problem then going in between clubs, or it's going to be a long iron most of the times, and then we do need to have the backspin to be able to attack the pin, because we're not playing a par 4 to just get the birdie. That's kind of boring, or at least that's not my job to give you an idea on how to play for a regular birdie on a par 4. I want you to give you an idea on how to get an eagle on a par 4. Maximum distance plus 10, and once again we do hit a great ball, which is crap, but you can see the idea with this that the backspin here puts us now right of the hole, because we did hit great right, but with a perfect we would have been very close. The green slopes very weirdly, which makes it also very difficult to read. So in this case, this par 4 is one of the tougher ones in the game, in my opinion, to drop an eagle on, especially if you're going to have to lay up. So be careful, because we don't want to miss out on the birdie, but at least with the instructions here in the video, you do have a chance for an eagle as well. Hole number 5, we are going to play on the right hand side, not the left hand side, which is the normal way of playing. The reason for that is that we are going to play, I would call this a shortcut to get actually an opportunity for an albatross that I would consider to be semi-good, compared to if we're playing on the left, then we will not be having an albatross chance at all, which would be only a pure eagle route. Now, add topspin. I would say that you're gonna add somewhere between 6 and 8 bars of topspin and as much side spin to the right possible. You do want to see the second bounce to be into the rough above the bunker and the water, obviously, because our plan is to bounce on the fairway into the rough and then just roll out on the fairway here on the top right corner. Because now we're gonna have an open shot towards the green because there is no trees in the way there, which will give us you know, again, it will give us a decent chance to drop this one for an albatross. Now, I'm not attacking the pin directly. I'm actually going to try to catch the funnel that is on the top left of the green. Here, those of you playing with a sniper 9 or sniper 10 has a massive advantage towards other players because you have a brilliant ball guideline to use, which can then let you know if you have the ball guideline to the hole or not. Now, I'm somewhat trying to eyeball my Guardian level 3 to get into the top left corner there to try to catch that funnel. But again, this is going to be very difficult with the Guardian or with any other club that do not have a 4.5 ball guideline because it will not show you the guide towards the hole. Minimum distance minus a 30%. We're playing massively uphill here, so the adjustment is going to be very, very limited, so have that in mind. So again, this is an interesting route on hole number 5, and I wanted us in this video to put the focus on this route instead of just going with a normal, boring eagle route on the left. Hole number 6, and we are going to play on the right hand side this time. The reason for that is that this is the easier way to make an hole-in-one. I first started out to see like, is there a rough bump here? And maybe there is though, but not with a side spin 2 ball or a side spin 1 ball. We're gonna have to have a lot more side spin, and then that's going to be a special ball, and that's not what I want to suggest here from front tee. Now, so I'm using 2 bars of left spin, and I'm going to try to catch the sticky spot. And what I mean with that is, like, once you have set the spin with 3.5 backspin and 2 left spin, wiggle left and right, and you will pay attention then to the second bounce. Because if you are in the sticky spot, the second bounce will not move, right? So it will be just static, and the rest of your target will move instead, and then we know that we're into the sticky spot. If that feels you know, confusing, then don't bother with that. Try to just replicate the position that I show you here on the video. Medium distance with a 20% over adjustment is what I'm using, and the sniper level 6 is also what I'm using, but there is definitely an advantage once again playing with a sniper 7 or better due to a better ball guideline. For hole number 7, we are going to play a par 3, and that is not as easy as it looks from front tee, because the trick here is to actually catch the slope in the best possible way to get the ball to roll down towards the pin. Definitely a possibility. This is generally a pretty decent chance for an hole-in-one. But what I mean with the difficultness on the front tee is that it's going to have to be played with a ball, most likely, that do not have that much power, as we otherwise will go in between clubs. And then playing with a ball guideline that isn't that great, then that's going to cause a trouble as well, and we're gonna have to guess. Here, we do get a little bit too little speed, which means that we come down to the green sooner than what we want to. So a little bit more topspin would be getting that ball to get a much more nicer roll. But you will notice here that even if we aren't really that close to the hole-in-one, it's still going to be a super simple birdie, because that is the beauty with this hole, that especially for those of you that are pretty new to tournaments in Golf Clash, this is a hole where if you are hitting that slope, you will always be sure that you will be getting a birdie with a short and simple putt, because that's how the green is designed. This hole is not called NASCAR for nothing, so that is because, once again, we are playing on the left side. We're not trying to go directly at green. That will most likely cause you to, you know, either go into the water or do anything else that is kind of stupid. So play on the left side, medium distance plus 20, a navigator ball is enough, and the quarterback should be your club. Hole number 8 is a perfect chance for us to actually play with a less worth ball, which a Malin is, because a Malin is frequently frequently sent to us from free chests and also in regular silver chests and gold chests and stuff like that. So here we use max topspin with the big topper. Make sure to leave the second bounce approximately 1 ring from the rough, as you could see there. And that is very important, that when you do have tailwind, the ball guideline is going to be extended because the wind is going to push the ball, right? If we do have a headwind, it's gonna do the opposite. It's going to compress the ball guideline, and therefore when we do have headwind, the second bounce should be just before the rough, because otherwise we would clip the rough in, clip the rough on the third bounce in headwind, and in tailwind, if we wouldn't be starting a bit further back, then we would be clipping the rough with the second bounce, and both of those type of things would get you in a situation where the eagle might be gone, as you would be not too far away, but far away enough to make you cause a miss for your second shot. But here, hole number 8, if you just have those things that I just explained in mind, then you will find yourself with an eagle every single time on this hole. Because hole number 8, with a very short par 4, I think it's the shortest one in the game, this has to be an eagle. For hole number 9, we're going to play on the left hand side due to a kind of display a way of playing with lower level clubs. The right side is definitely a possibility to play that way, but that is not going to be shown in the video. So we're playing for a safe eagle with a small chance for an albatross. 4.5 bar topspin, 3 bar side spin to the right. As we're once again playing with lower level clubs, I would strongly advise you to play with a side spin 3 ball to make sure that with a very limited amount of curl on our clubs, being able to do what we want to do, which is to bounce on the first fairway over the rough and the sand, then go in between the rough and the sand here in the center. Obviously a great ball on the drive is dangerous as we have a very bad accuracy, but getting the ball down to 328, or let's say getting the ball down to 330, will give you two decisions, or like one decision to make for the second shot, which is what club to choose. I pack the big dog here because I only have the sniper level 6, but if I would be having the sniper level 8 or better, I would pack that club instead. Why? It's because sniper has a better accuracy, a better ball guideline, and therefore it will give you a better chance to get it to drop, and it will also give you a better chance to not mess up. Because the big dog here, sure, it does have the power. We have no problem to reach. And sure, we can get the ball to green and get it close. But we have a bad ball guideline. We also have an extremely bad accuracy. And those of you having a big dog in even a lower level than level 6 does have an even worse accuracy. So with that in mind, a great ball with a big dog could definitely mess up this shot compared to a great ball with sniper, which is not going to be affected that much. The ball is getting down here on the green, and again, I see that this is an opportunity, but at the same time, it's going to be a very, very hard one to get. So see this one as mainly an eagle hole, and any albatross should be considered a bonus. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough with various wind here for Rookie Division and the Game Set Match Tournament here in Golf Clash the Game. Make sure that before we end up here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. If you do want to improve your game even more, we do offer tour guides and tournament guides, the best ones on the market, by going to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. And as there is a new month here for us coming up in July, then this is a perfect chance to get one of our packages. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Thank you once again for watching, and good luck in your Golf Clash game.